Thank you to Tyler Kendall. She's the best for producing this every week. And sayonara.
Welcome, boys and girls and political children of all ages, to this edition of The Best of With All Due Respect. Hillary Clinton enjoyed what looks to be a sizable convention bump, while Donald Trump had a considerably rougher week, with controversies ranging from his battle with the Gold Star family to his refusal to back prominent Republicans running for re-election. A new batch of national and state polls suggests that bad news cycle after bad news cycle finally caught up to the Republican nominee. Welcome to this edition of The Best of With All Due Respect. If Taylor Swift songs were narrating the Republican nominee's campaign, I Knew You Were Trouble and Bad Blood would definitely be on the playlist. However, the lyricist was off by one preposition this week when Donald Trump decided to shake it up with his campaign team. Welcome to this edition of The Best of With All Due Respect. So what does the Libertarian ticket for president, Trump's campaign manager, and Vladimir Putin all have in common? Interviews with all of them appeared on our program this week. And what do Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have in common? Well, besides high unfavorability ratings with voters, they appeared back-to-back Wednesday night with NBC's Matt Lauer at a Commander-in-Chief forum here in Gotham City.
Welcome to this spooky edition of The Best of With All Due Respect. This Monday, Halloween, will officially mark the single-digit countdown to Election Day. And if that wasn't frightening enough, this week on the show we covered an Obamacare scare and a clandestine encounter with the elusive Julian Assange. But first, we discuss whether it was a wise decision for the Republican nominee, that would be Donald Trump, to take time off of the campaign trail.
Welcome to this edition of The Best of With All Due Respect. 'Twas the week before Election night, and we're down to the wire. All the surrogates were spinning as the rhetoric caught fire. Comey's latest email controversy hung in the air amidst allegations from the GOP nominee that the media is unfair. But with all due respect to the campaigns of both Clinton and Trump, we begin this weekly wrap-up with an 11th hour polling bump. First, the national survey. CBS News and the New York Times has Clinton up just by 3, 47 to 44. That same poll showed Clinton with a 9-point lead a few weeks ago. There were also a bunch of state polls that likely have Trump world smiling. A New Hampshire survey from the Boston Globe and Suffolk University showed Clinton and Trump tied. The Granite State is a place that up until recently people thought Clinton had pulled ahead. Well ahead. The two candidates also were tied in a new Colorado poll from the University of Denver. That's another place where Clinton was presumed to have the electoral votes locked down. A new NBC News Wall Street Journal Marist poll has Trump with a comfortable lead in Arizona and Texas, if those surveys are to believe. So much for Clinton making inroads there. And finally, Trump is up 6 in a Monmouth University poll in Utah, where Evan McMullen, the independent candidate, who for a while in some surveys was in first place, has now fallen back to 3rd.
It was the best of times, and now it is the last of times. Hello and welcome to this final edition of The Best of With All Due Respect. We begin our final special show with none other than Donald Trump and how the president-elect has been conducting himself as he assembles his team and prepares to lead the free world. We don't have a catchy nickname for it on this program, but we did call up our resident Bloomberg markets maestro, Joe Weisenthal, for his take on the phenomenon.
Markets are surging to record highs, and there's reason to believe it's about Trump. If you look at the sector that's really leading the way, it's really all about the financials. Lots of banks up 20% since the election on expectations of faster growth and a regulatory rollback. Prior to the election, people thought that Trump was going to be bad for the market. They all predicted a sell-off. But since then, it's all been optimism over tax cuts, regulation, more fiscal spending, more growth, and people are just really ignoring all the negatives they thought about his campaign and his administration.